Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. I'm hopping on today to show you how to make my eggplant parmesan. And it's Wednesday, so a lot of people eat spaghetti on Wednesday. It's like a traditional thing, Wednesday spaghetti day. But I'm gonna make eggplant parmesan today, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. It's super easy. It's just a little bit time consuming, but I promise you it's not hard. So what you're gonna need is a whole eggplant, and I cut up my eggplant a while ago, probably like a half an hour ago, and I sprinkled some sea salt on it, and now I'm just drying it. It's gonna pull all that bitter moisture out of the eggplant, and you're gonna wanna pat it dry with a paper towel, and that way when you go to bread it and fry it or bake it, it's going to be much easier to do. So don't skip that step, okay? So you can see, this is my eggplant. I cut up a whole medium-sized eggplant, generously salted it, and left it sit on the counter for about, I don't know, 20 minutes to half an hour while I went and did whatever I did. And now I'm gonna bread these, and that's the first step so that we can get these going. Now, you can either deep fry them, and I know that that's gonna give it a lot of good flavor. You can air fry them, which is what I'm gonna try to do in my air fryer and see how that works out. Or you can bake them in the oven. I have a sheet lined here, and I'm trying to decide which direction I'm gonna go, either air fry or bake today. I don't wanna, start dealing with grease and everything. So you have your whole eggplant. You're gonna need some flour. I have 3 eggs in this bowl. You might end up needing more. It just depends on how big your eggplant is and all that, and how many pieces you have. But just give it a stir. My 3 eggs, there's nothing else in there, just eggs. Okay, some traditional Italian nonna is gonna probably be screaming at me through this video, telling me that I'm not doing it right. Listen, this is my way, okay? This is my way. All right, and I have some panko breadcrumbs. You can even use Italian breadcrumbs if you want, rather than panko. This is what I have, so that's what I'm gonna use. But I am gonna add some Italian seasoning, probably like about 1.5 teaspoons of the Italian seasoning, and I'm going to mix it with that fork I used for the egg. It doesn't matter, it's all going to end up together. I'm not contaminating anything by doing that, because it's all going to be in the same thing. So this is what you're going to do first, okay? You're going to take your pieces of the eggplant and you're going to dip it in the flour. This gets a little messy and a little annoying, but in the end it's worth it. So you just dredge the eggplant in the flour, just plain all-purpose flour, and then you take the egg mixture, you put the eggplant in the egg mixture, dunk it around, make sure it's all coated, shake off the excess, and then you take it and you throw it into your panko or your breadcrumbs and make sure it gets nice and coated, just like that. See how there's breading on both sides? It's nice and coated. And now I'm just gonna lay them on this baking sheet that has some parchment paper on it, and then when I'm done coating all of them, I'll decide if I'm gonna bake them in the oven. If I bake them in the oven, I will probably do it like, I don't know, 375 until they're golden brown, maybe flipping them halfway through. I really love the taste of them fried, I'm not gonna lie, but let's try to bake them today and see what happens. All right, so I just dredged it in the flour, I dip it in the egg, bam, just like that. And now back into the breadcrumbs. Use your fork to kind of coat them on both sides. And I only have about 1,000 more pieces to go, yay. Okay, now, and I do make my eggplant parm just a little bit different, but I promise you're gonna like it. Okay, so it's breaded on both sides, and I'm just gonna repeat this step until I get these all coated, and then I'll hop back on, and I'm gonna show you how to make the sauce. We're gonna bake these off. We'll make our sauce, and then we'll layer our eggplant parm. I cannot wait for you guys to see this. All right, so I just took the eggplant out of the air fryer, and I have to tell you, I did a couple pieces just to see how they would turn out. I did that first, and they looked really dry. So I did go in and I brushed each piece with some olive oil on both sides, and I have to say, they turned out really nice. They look fantastic, and my house doesn't smell like grease. But it's your choice. If you want to fry them in oil on both sides until they're done, go ahead. Or if you want to bake them off in the oven, go ahead. Because in the air fryer, you do have to do it in batches. So you might want to just put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven at like 350, 375 until they're golden, and call it a day. They're okay in the air fryer though. They look beautiful. So I'm going to use them that way. So now we're going to start on the sauce, okay? And the sauce is super easy. I know you guys have seen me make spaghetti before. I make a meat sauce when I make spaghetti. This doesn't have meat, but it's the same kind of idea, okay? So I have a whole white onion. Let me turn on my burner. I'm still getting used to the electric stove. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of an electric stovetop, but that's okay. All right, so I chopped up, so you can see here, a whole, I'm waiting one day I'm gonna drop this right in the floor. A whole white onion. I have about 3 tablespoons of fresh parsley I chopped up and 4 cloves of garlic that I chopped. So I'm gonna go ahead by starting with the onion. I'm gonna slide the onion right into the pan. And we're gonna hold off on that parsley and garlic for just a minute. And I have about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in this pot to start to saute the onion. So when they start to become fragrant, then we'll go ahead and add our garlic and our other ingredients. And you're gonna need, I use the fire roasted tomatoes. If you have regular diced tomatoes, that's fine. But the fire roasted kind of give it like this extra smoky flavor that I really like. This is just a Kroger brand. So I'll use those in there. I have 2 cans, these are 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And I have 2 cans of 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. And we're gonna throw in some Italian seasoning and some fennel, some garlic powder, salt, pepper, and it's gonna be fantastic. And we're gonna make our ricotta filling to go into the eggplant parmesan. It almost sounds like I'm making a lasagna with eggplant, but it's my version of the eggplant parmesan. I cannot wait to eat it, you guys. I love any kind of eggplant dish. I'm a huge fan of eggplant. These are starting to smell so good. I love the mix of onion and garlic. Fantastic. While that's going, hi, come say hi. I have a guest.
I'm just terrible.
No, who cares? Nobody cares. Come say hello. My daughter Sophia.
Hi.
I'm making some eggplant parmesan.
Yeah.
Yummy. Okay, love you. Go finish, okay? Anyways, they're still homeschooling. They're starting regular school in the, well, I was going to say fall, but it's actually the end of July is when Ava's going to start. Okay, so now that's smelling really good. I'm going to add the garlic. Let me separate the Parmesan and the garlic there. Like I said, some Italian nanny, nonna somewhere is going to like be screaming at me through the YouTube channel that I'm not doing her eggplant parmesan the right way. But cooking is all personal. So however you like to do it is how you should do it. I'm going to turn that heat down just a little bit to like a medium high. Oh man, that garlic. Just give it a stir just for a few minutes here. You go ahead and open up my diced tomatoes. These are the fire roasted ones, super delicious. I love tomatoes. It's one of my favorite things, like especially with eggs for breakfast. When you put the tomato in the oil and it starts to caramelize the tomato, delicious. Oh, one of my favorite things for breakfast. It's a beautiful day here in Arizona. It's about 77 degrees versus the 97 degrees we had yesterday. Beautiful breeze. I have all the windows open. It's a fantastic, gorgeous day here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dump in that can of the fire roasted tomatoes. Oh, I wish you had smell-o-vision. You could smell the smells already. It smells fantastic. Okay, so like I said, medium-high heat. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and add in that parsley. We're going to add in some fresh basil too, but in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and add fennel. Fennel, I don't know if you are familiar with fennel, but I always use it in my spaghetti sauce. I always use it in my lasagna. It has like a licoricey smell to it, but when you cook with it, it doesn't overpower your dish. You just have to use it sparingly. I use probably about maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of the fennel. Not much more than that is needed. We're going to use about a teaspoon of salt in there. And I'm going to use about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Teaspoon of garlic powder in there, because I have fresh garlic in there too. I don't want to like overpower it. I'm going to use some pepper, about a half teaspoon of black pepper. If I can get it open. I can never get this open, and I don't want to break my nail. I'm going to be so mad if I break. Here, I'll just use this side. If I break a nail, I'm going to be so mad. Okay, we're going to do about a half a teaspoon of black pepper, because I really like black pepper. All right, you can go a little lighter if you want. Oh, it smells fantastic. We are going to use about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning.
Hi.
Hi, Ava, can you please let Coco out?
Yes, ma'am.
Tablespoon, and I always rub those dry seasonings together to kind of get the fragrance going in there. Tablespoon of the Italian seasoning. Oh yeah, it smells great. And we're going to add our 2 cans of tomato sauce.
Do you want me to...
I chose the wrong day to wear white pants because I know that I'm going to end up getting this sauce splattered all over me.
Do you want me to throw another one of these so the
No,
flies don't come in?
We have been lighting incense, lavender incense in the house because I read that will keep flies away. And we have our back door open a lot, and I'm just going insane like with the fly thing.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot.
yeah, I'm losing my mind. But we did buy the thing, and it's been working pretty good. But in the house, the lavender smells good, so we'll just, you know, keep using that. Okay, now to that, we're gonna add our 2 cups of water. And nice outfit. You must get your fashion sense from your father.
You're so funny.
Sleeping Beauty just got up a while ago, so she's still in morning mode. Oh,
Yeah.
to be a child again. Okay, so I'm gonna add this 2 cans of tomato paste right there. Truth be told, I'm gonna miss them when they go back to school, but don't tell them that. Okay, so we're gonna add this other can of tomato paste. So that's 2 cans of tomato paste. That's good. That's gonna help to thicken up your sauce. And you're gonna just let it simmer for maybe like, the longer you let it simmer, the more flavorful the sauce is gonna be. You know, minimum, I would say like half an hour to 45 minutes. If you wanna put it on low and just simmer it for like an hour or so, that's good too. It's gonna give it time to get all those spices and flavors in there. You guys, it smells so good in here right now. And we're gonna use our 9x13 dish to layer our eggplant parmesan, but I'll show you that in a minute. So let's finish our sauce up. Those 2 cans of tomato paste are really gonna cause it to be thick, because that's what you want over the eggplant parm, some kind of thicker sauce. You don't want it too thin. Okay, let's go over and make sure we added everything. Our Italian seasoning, our black pepper, our fennel. We added our garlic powder, our salt, and we're also going to add in some fresh basil. Look at this gorgeous basil, you guys. This is the organic basil. I love the smell of fresh basil. I use it a lot. I use it in Italian food. I use it when I make Thai food. I used it in that pho I made the other day. So I'm constantly using fresh herbs when I can get my hands on them. They make such a difference. So I'm using about, I don't know, maybe like 6 leaves of this basil. And I'm gonna just chop it up. You don't have to, you know, chop it too small. It's gonna cook down in the sauce and add some extra flavor with that fennel and the basil. Because basil kind of has basil kind of has that licoricey. It's delicious. I love it. So fresh. Okay, so go ahead and put that in there. And now I'm just gonna cover it, and I'm gonna let it simmer for, you know, about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I'll come back and I will build the eggplant parmesan for you. And then I'm gonna show you how to make the cheese filling that's gonna go on the top. So give me about 5 minutes to get it organized, and I'll be right back. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how to make the cheese filling. You're gonna need a 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese, and I get the whole milk one. I don't get the fat-free one. I just think it's a difference in taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel that. I'm gonna add that to my bowl. And I know you can't see my face right now, but that's okay because I just want you to see how I'm making this filling. So I have that whole container of the ricotta, and now I'm gonna add probably about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan, shredded Parmesan. And we're gonna add more of that later. Put that on the side. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of fresh basil. I could have used a bigger bowl. Now that I'm doing it, I see that I could have used a much bigger bowl to do this. That's all right. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, maybe about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of black pepper, about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 whole egg, 1 whole egg, mix that around. And we're gonna add a little bit of mozzarella cheese, about a 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And we're gonna spoon this in between the layers of eggplant when we layer it. And then we're gonna top it all off with provolone and bake it in the oven. The traditional way is with fresh mozzarella on top of your provolone, right? On top of your, oh my gosh. Fresh mozzarella on top of your eggplant is what I'm trying to say. Okay, there we go. And now we're gonna add a little bit of this mozzarella cheese. Like I said, about 1/2 cup of mozzarella. I love when the kids come in the videos, but sometimes they distract me and then I forget what I'm trying to say. Okay, about 1/2 cup. Okay, in there. Mix that around. And now you can just set it aside, set it in the fridge or whatever until you're ready to build your eggplant Parmesan. And that's the cheese filling right there. Okay, one thing I forgot to do for my sauce here, and I had a hot right back on because I don't want to forget, you have to add about a tablespoon of sugar to your sauce. It's really important. Add about a tablespoon of white sugar to your sauce and just let it keep simmering away. But that sugar is going to help cut the acidity to the sauce and it gives it a really good flavor. So don't forget that part. I almost forgot. And it makes a huge difference in the taste of the sauce. So don't forget to add that 1 tablespoon of sugar to your sauce. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more, and we're getting close to being able to layer our dish. So we'll be back really soon. Okay guys, are you ready for the best part? The best part is layering up the eggplant Parmesan. I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees, or it's starting to preheat. And I'll bake that until the cheese on the top of the eggplant is nice and golden. I'll probably leave it in there about maybe 30 to 35 minutes, uncovered. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is take your 9x13 and spray it with non-stick cooking spray. I wish I could get the camera like in a way where you could see really good what I'm doing. The sauce cooked for about 45 minutes. It smells incredible in here. It smells like an Italian restaurant in here. And it's nice and thick, very beautiful consistency for the sauce. I'm really happy with it. Tastes amazing. So I'm just giving it a final little stir to make sure all of the ingredients are nice and blended together in the sauce. And I'm going to take a ladle full and I'm going to put it in the bottom of my pan, about 2 ladles full. And I just kind of make sure that it gets evenly spread out all over the bottom, just like that. And now I'm going to take the beautiful eggplant. I just kept them covered. I'm going to take our eggplant and I'm going to start to layer the bottom of the pan with these gorgeous eggplant. Doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. It's all going to end up all together anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Do the best you can to get it layered good in the bottom of the pan there. Could probably fit maybe one more right there. And now we're going to take that gorgeous cheese mixture and we're just going to spoon it on top of our eggplant. This cheese mixture we made with the Parmesan and the ricotta, we're just going to spoon it in on the top of each slice of eggplant. Oh, yum. Creamy and delicious. I could eat this eggplant just like it is right now by itself. No problem. I would be super happy. And I'm just going to kind of spread it just a teeniest bit. Just that. And now we're gonna add some provolone cheese, okay? Just slices of provolone that I got from the deli. This is Boar's Head. You can get whatever brand you like, but I really like Boar's Head. And I'm gonna just layer this provolone on top of that delicious eggplant. You guys, it's gonna be a cheesy, oh, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. Okay, just like that. We're gonna have just enough to do the other layer. Okay, just like that. Okay, so far, let me show you what I have. Okay, that's what it looks like. So I did a layer of sauce, then a layer of eggplant, and then I topped that layer of eggplant with our cheese mixture. Then I topped it with the slices of provolone. Now we're gonna go back in and we're gonna add another couple ladles of sauce right over the top of that. OMG, cannot wait to eat this. If you're an eggplant lover like I am, you are going to really enjoy this. And the sauce gives it just, you know, like just the right texture when you eat it. You still get the crispy from the eggplant, but it's got that rich sauce on the top. You guys, magic. All right, now let's go back in and we're gonna layer with the rest of our eggplant. Put that one there. You know, you might have to spread it out just a little bit. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfectly even, because when you cut in there, you're gonna get nice layers. See, it's not perfectly even, but there's enough to cover the top of it. Now let's go back in and finish up your little cheese mixture, because that sauce, when you put the sauce on the top of that, it's gonna melt it. You know, so here's my oven telling me I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready for your delicious eggplant parmesan. And I can't wait for you guys to try it. This sauce, you could even make it for just like a marinara. You could use this for just regular noodles. Throw some pasta together, top it with this sauce, put a little fresh basil on it. Balsamic, delicious. It would be great. Anything like that would be really, really good. All right, now we've got enough of our provolone to do another layer. Yum. It's gonna finish this cheese right off. Oops, one piece ripped, that's okay. Gonna put that layer there. There, we got one more layer right here. That's good. And a little bit of mozzarella on the top. Just a little bit, just a little. Okay, and then another layer of sauce. You can skip that little bit of mozzarella if you don't want to do more cheese. Totally skip it. But you're gonna have to top it with cheese. So now I'm just adding another ladle, couple ladles of our sauce on the top, spreading it out a little bit. And it's gonna cook all down into there. There we go. And now you have to layer the top with some kind of cheese, right? So I'm gonna do mozzarella here. You could do some more slices of provolone if you want it. But I'm just gonna do shredded mozzarella, just enough to give it like a coating on the top, and a handful of shredded Parmesan. Oh yeah, hello mama. Bam, there we go. All right, and there you go. It's ready to go in the oven. You guys, it weighs about 10 pounds, no lie. It smells incredible, and I can't wait to show you the end result. So I'm gonna go pop it in the oven, 30 to 35 minutes, let that eggplant cook nice and get it soft, and get that cheese golden brown and bubbly, and I'll be back to show you the end. Okay, here it is, ladies. I just took it out of the oven. It looks so good. I wish you could smell it. It smells incredible. I cannot wait to dig in, but you have to let it set for just a little bit before you go ahead and dig in there. Let it set for about 15 to 20 minutes before you serve it. Let the sauce kind of get a little bit thicker in there and set for a little bit so that it's not a big mess when you spoon it out onto the plate. And then you can serve and top with a little bit of fresh parsley or fresh basil. And I have a garlic bread setting over there. I just cut a French loaf in half and put butter and garlic powder on it. I'm going to stick it in the oven here, and I'm going to be ready to eat. Okay, ladies, there it is. I let it set for about 20 minutes, and I just spooned it out of the baking dish, and it's ready to go. Look how beautiful that is, you guys. Eggplant Parmesan. So I hope you'll try it, and let me know what you think. Owafi. Till next time.